Hi guys, welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing about BCP utility. BCP is a command line utility that we can use in order to export data and import data from SQL. So there can be instances where your data sits outside the SQL tables or the database. For example, you are given the requirement in a certain project and the client or the vendor has given you the data in a form of Excel sheet or a notepad. So SQL has the facility to import data from these outside sources, and one such facility is BCP utility. Now, BCP utility is used to get the data from a text file or a notepad file into a SQL Server database or a table, and also it can be used to export data from a SQL table inside a database to any text file. So let us see how it is done. So first of all, we are in first DB SQL database and we have a table called employee. So let's first of all check how many rows are there in this table. So if this table has 3 rows and the employee IDs are 100, 101 and 102. Now we need a text file that will hold data so that we can insert that data into this table. And I've created a file called BCP file, and it has 2 rows. The IDs are 200 and 201. One thing that is very important over here is that the structure of the data that is inside the BCP file should match with the structure of the table in which you want to insert the data. So that means that the number of columns should be same, and also the data types of these columns should match the data types of the table in which you want to insert the data. So in our case, it is matching the data types as well as the number of columns is matching with the target table. You can see that the ID is int type. It has 200 and 201 as the values, whereas the name has 200 and 201 as the varchar or the string types. So now let's insert this data into the table. So we'll close this file now, and we need to open the command prompt window. So need to first of all note down the folder in which your file exists, and in our case it exists under E drive and under SQL folder. So we just need to go back and go back again, and now we need to enter the E drive. We are now inside the E drive. Now we need to enter the SQL folder. So now we are into SQL folder. So the command for BCP utility is something like this. You have to first of all specify BCP in caps. Then you need to specify the table and the database. So you need to specify 3 part name. So we will check in our case which database it is. So you can see it's first DB SQL, and then the schema is DBO, and the table name is employee. So what we'll do is we'll write first SQL DB, and let us cross check it. It's actually the other way around. It's first DB SQL and then dot DBO dot employee. Let's check the table name employee. So the table name is correct. So this is about the target table. Now we need to give a space. And if you want to import data into a table, you should specify an in clause. In stands for that we are inputting the data into the text file. Now the name of the text file should follow it. It is BCP file. So we'll just simply write BCP file, again a space. Now another thing that you need to notice over here is what is the delimiter between columns. In our case it is a tab, So we will specify the tab. So there can be a comma, there can be a semicolon. So we need to take care of that.